And here we have yet another fantastic word problem. And I prepared a table beforehand that might be pretty useful. And let's get started. So Bianca has 2 gallons of a 40% sugar beverage. That's a lot of sugar in a beverage. But she needs to dilute the beverage considerably, down to only 4% sugar. How much water? Of course, water has no sugar content. Does she need to pour into the 2 gallons of the original 40% sugar beverage to obtain the desired beverage containing only 4% sugar? Because who needs that much sugar anyways? So, okay, the 40% mix, the original mix, we know that there were 2 gallons of it. So the mix amount will always be in gallons. And we don't know how much water we're pouring into it. So I'm going to call, actually, yeah, that's the question anyways. How much water does she need to pour into the 2 gallons? So I'm going to say that the mix amount of water is X. Great, so how many gallons will the combined mix have? Well, we can just add them up. So we can have 2 plus X. So that'll be the mix amount for the combined mixture. Fantastic. So, okay, now percentage of sugar, what is that going to be? Well, for the 40% mixture, we have 40% sugar. For water, we have 0% sugar. And for the combined mix, we want the mix to have only 4% sugar. Great. Now, we're progressing quickly, thankfully. And how do we get the total amount of sugar for each row? We can actually just multiply these. Well, 2 gallons of the 40% mix. So what I can do is just actually multiply by 40 divided by 100, because that's a percentage value, right? And 40 divided by 100 is 0.4. So that's going to give us 0.8 gallons of pure sugar. Horrible, eh? So that's also in gallons. Lots of sugar. And great, so let's do the same to all rows to figure them out. So for water, we have X. We multiply X by 0%. So X times 0 over 100 is just going to be 0. Oh, great. Look at that. So the amount of this row is just 0 because X times 0%, 0. And finally, for the combined mixture, what's the total amount of sugar? Well, we can just multiply 2 plus X by 4%. And 4% is just 4 over 100, which is 0.04. So I can write 0.04 times 2 plus X. And that's it. Now, how can we structure our equation? Well, the amount of sugar from the 40% mix plus the amount of water will be equal to the amount of sugar in the combined mix. That makes sense, right? Well, because here, of course, there's no sugar. So 0.8 plus 0 will equal 0.04 times 2 plus X. Well, that's just 0.8. Now, once we solve for X, we will know how much water we need to add to make this mixture happen. So 0.04 times 2 is 0.08. 0.04 times X is 0.04X. Fantastic. Now I can subtract 0.08 from both sides of the equation. So over here we're going to end up with 0.72. Hopefully you won't need to check on your calculator. Just trust me. And I can bring down the 0.04x. Wonderful. Now, let's just divide both sides of the equation by 0.04. And x will be 0.72 divided by 0.04, which gives us 18. So we need a total of 18 gallons of water. in order to bring the percentage of sugar in the mixture down to 4%. That makes sense, right? Because there was a lot of sugar before. So that's it. The answer is 18 gallons.